So the first step always is awareness, recognizing, okay, this is an amygdala hijack happening. Then you can start working to short-circuit that explosive loop. And this ties into a bigger idea Marion emphasizes. Life isn't just about what happens to us, it's about how we interpret it. Our perception is everything. And that interpretation is shaped by three key filters. First, our belief system. We all have these deep-seated ideas, often unconscious about how things should be. Life, relationships, work. These core beliefs are the hardest to change. They're like the bedrock of our reality.
Right. She tells that story about the mother who couldn't accept her son wanting to be a pianist because the family were all engineers.
Exactly. For her, pianist problem, because it didn't fit the belief system. Our resistance to challenging these beliefs often stops us enjoying life, accepting others.
So knowing your own belief system is crucial because it filters everything you experience without you even realizing it sometimes.
Absolutely, it's the lens. Second filter, our state of mind. Our current emotional state massively colors how we interpret things. Remember her anecdote about Spain winning the World Cup? Everyone was ecstatic, interpreting everything positively.
Because the collective state of mind was high.
Exactly. Conversely, if you're feeling low, stressed, even good news can seem bad. And this state depends on sleep, circumstances, pandemic versus normal times, and your core personality. If you're naturally sensitive or distrustful, that shapes your state of mind. Working on things like a victim mentality can significantly shift how you perceive everything.
Okay, and the third filter. This one has a tricky name and a cool function. The Ascending Reticular Activating System, ARAS.
Yes. Terrible name, magical function, as she says. It's a primitive part of the brain, deep down, acting as your internal filter. It lets you focus on what interests you amidst the constant sensory bombardment. Without it, we'd be overwhelmed. It explains that saying, luck favors the prepared mind. If you're looking for a specific job, suddenly you notice articles, hear conversations about it. Your air race is filtering for it.
Like Marion preparing to meet Kofi Annan and then spotting his wife, her brain was primed.
Exactly. Her air race was filtering for anything related. It helps you spot opportunities you'd otherwise miss. But the big inhibitor, the main thing that shuts down the ARAS, screens.
Of course.
Screens give instant gratification, dopamine hits. A fake digital life, Marion calls it. The mechanism is so similar to drug addiction. Treatment is often similar too. That constant digital stimulation stops us connecting with reality, noticing real opportunities. It dulls our natural filter.
Which brings us back to the prefrontal cortex, PFC, the executive control center. Attention, concentration, problem solving, impulse control. What makes us, human in a complex way.
Right. And it develops slowly. It's immature at birth, matures over years, earlier in girls, interestingly. Initially, it's stimulated by basics. Light, sound, movement. A baby looking at a rattle.
But as we grow, we need to develop attention for immobile things, like a book or a teacher.
Yes, that deeper, sustained focus. Not just reacting to stimuli, but directing attention intentionally. So, the big question. What happens if we expose kids, or ourselves, constantly to screens from an early age?
The screen does the stimulating, provides endless novelty.
Precisely. The external device does the work, so the internal attention mechanisms don't develop as strongly. It's use it or lose it. If we rely on GPS constantly, our internal navigation skills weaken. If we rely on Google for every fact, our memory recall might suffer. We outsource the function.
And the cost. Screens teach our brains not to manage boredom, which you said is the cradle of creativity.
Yes. Boredom allows for reflection, imagination, wonder. Screens eliminate that space.
And they teach us not to manage stress, which dictates our quality of life.
Exactly. If the brain is always entertained externally, it doesn't learn to cope with internal discomfort or generate its own engagement.
So what's the good news? We can strengthen the PFC through willpower.
Absolutely. Willpower, which Marion defines beautifully as the capacity to postpone reward. In our I want it now world, that's a superpower. She suggests practical challenges, small things. This week, no chocolate, only one episode tonight, 15 minutes max on Instagram.
Like doing reps for your willpower muscle.
Exactly like that. It educates your PFC, strengthens it, and that helps you go further in life, achieve bigger goals. Plus, when you do allow your mind to wander, manage boredom, that's when great ideas often pop up. Not usually in frantic moments, but in calm, reflective ones. Like Newton and the apple. Deeper thought happens in stillness. And fundamentally, she argues, sculpting our brain by choosing what we pay attention to determines our whole quality of life intellectually, cognitively, even relationally. Attention is the currency. So practical steps. How do we enhance focus, presence? First, focus on the positive. Consciously notice, reflect on 3 good things each day. Small things count. Look at something with great interest for it to become interesting. Train your brain to see the good.
Second, savor with your senses, ground yourself. Really taste your food, flavors, texture. Listen intently what sounds are around you right now. Engage all senses to slow down. Focus on the present. Pull yourself out of the noise.
Third, discriminate information, especially online. Develop critical thinking. Learn to filter the noise. Find what's valuable. Discard the rest. It's a survival skill now. Fourth, embrace reading, especially on paper. Marion says, reading is to the mind what physical exercise is to the body. Paper allows deeper engagement than screens, which are full of distractions, promoting continuous alternation of attention, switching, not focusing, reduces efficiency, comprehension.
And fifth, this feels really profound. Do one thing with full attention and heart. Multitasking is an illusion, right? Leads to superficial work. Instead, give your full attention, your heart, to whatever you're doing, mundane or major. Think about how it feels when someone gives you their undivided attention, like the world stops.
Yes, that quality of presence. Marion takes notes on paper in consultations, avoids the computer. To give patients that full presence, we can do that in daily life. Put the phone away when you get home, open hands for a hug, eye contact, get down on a child's level. Delay the non-urgent stuff to be fully present for the people who matter. That presence is a powerful gift.
Let's talk about those modern pressures. That constant urge to check your phone, the FOMO fear of missing out, they keep us on edge, don't they? Feeding that stress cycle.
They absolutely do. Our digital lives are a huge source of chronic stress. Marion's advice is blunt. Turn off notifications. You dominate the device, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Stop being reactive.
Makes sense. And what about chronopathy? That need to always be busy.
Yeah, that obsession with constant activity. Trying to stop cold turkey can cause anxiety attacks, she notes. It needs a gradual slowing down, like walking downstairs, not jumping off. And then there's perfectionism, the curse of perpetual dissatisfaction, always finding flaws, striving for the impossible.
Because life is imperfect.
Exactly. That constant alertness, searching for flaws, leads to obsessive issues, deep dissatisfaction. Understanding its toll on health is vital. It's a self-imposed stress state. So more tools for balance. She really highlights sport combined with nature. Exercising outdoors, beach, mountain studies show it's significantly more relaxing, better at lowering cortisol than city workouts or even looking at virtual nature.
Nature itself is calming, helps shift to that parasympathetic state.
Much more easily, yes. It has an inherent restorative quality.
And conscious breathing. We talked about the rapid breathing and stress.
Yeah.
But we can consciously change that.
Yes, it's incredibly powerful and simple. When anxiety makes breathing shallow and fast, you get that oxygen-CO2 imbalance causing dizziness, tingling, panic. Learning to breathe deeply, diaphragmatically, can instantly calm the system.
The technique being
Breathe in deeply through the nose, hold for a few seconds, exhale slowly through the mouth. Maybe add a positive thought or gratitude on the exhale. It's a direct physical way to shift to the parasympathetic state. Improves everything, even sleep. Marion used it to help someone having a panic attack on a plane. It works. And mindfulness, or full attention. Not just formal meditation, but connecting with yourself, noticing sensations, thoughts, just being present. It helps pause those negative loops. 2 key ingredients for success here are acceptance of what you can't control and letting go of the need to control everything. Trying to relax by controlling just backfires, increases anxiety. True calm comes from surrender.
It's amazing how all these techniques show that deep link mind, psyche, soul, body. We can consciously influence our own well-being. We're not just passive victims of stress.
Not at all. We have agency. But often, we live in survival mode. Right. Just getting through the day, kids, work, money, health. It's hard to connect with your deeper self in that state. To reach your best version, Marion argues, you need moments of pause. A retreat from the noise, a weekend, longer to ask the big questions. What's my purpose? My ikigai? You need that reflective space. And she offers this simple, powerful equation for achieving that best version. Surprisingly mathematical for a psychiatrist. Best version, knowledge plus life project plus willpower. X, passion. Let's break it down. Knowledge. What you learn, understand. Your skills, insights. Life project. Having clear goals, direction. Knowing where you're going, your purpose. Willpower. That strong prefrontal cortex. Postponing gratification, discipline, consistency.
Okay, those 3 add together, build on each other.
Right, but then comes the multiplier. Passion. Passion is the key, the force multiplier. Absolutely. Putting your heart into what you do, whatever your role, doctor, parent, artist, cleaner. The world has too many people just going through the motions. But with passion, any role becomes a chance to transform yourself and impact others positively. It ignites everything.
So the takeaway is take time to pause, Reflect on your knowledge, your goals, your discipline. But crucially, find and ignite that passion. That's where the real transformation happens, unlocking your best self.
Exactly. It's in that reflective space, fueled by passion, that you move beyond just surviving to truly thriving.
Wow. We've covered so much today. A really deep dive from happiness and love to the nitty-gritty of stress hormones and brain function. And lots of practical tools, self-awareness, lifestyle changes, rewiring our attention.
We have. And as we wrap up, maybe a final thought to consider. If our attention truly is the currency of our lives, and it's constantly being pulled away by notifications, digital noise, the need for instant fixes, are we investing it wisely? Are we spending our most valuable resource on what truly matters? What would life look like if we consciously gave our full, undivided attention, our heart, to the people, moments, and activities that genuinely enrich our real lives?
That's a powerful question to leave with. We really invite you, our listener, to reflect on these insights, maybe try out some of the tools we discussed, and begin that journey of consciously sculpting your mind toward a life of deeper connection, real fulfillment, and ultimately your very best self.